BrELT. It's a huge pleasure to be here today, and I have this interview with our friend Renata from Curitiba. So, Renata, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Priscilla. How are you?
I'm fine too. So, Renata, we have some questions for you, okay?
Okay.
So, how did you come up with the idea of teaching English to senior citizens?
Well, it all came from a personal experience from a cousin who went to live in Norway, and she had then a Norwegian husband. And suddenly, my uncle and my aunt needed to speak English to talk to him, right? Because they wouldn't learn the language from Norway, right? So English would be a common language. And then this aunt asked me, Renata, where do you think I could start? And I told her about some good schools, and she went. But she came back like 1 or 2 weeks later saying, no, this is not what I'm looking for because I have to study with teenagers, to businessmen, and this is not what I want. The rhythm is different, the interest is different. So, what can I do? Then I thought, you need a school, especially for you. That's it.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, with a personal experience, you get this.
It is. It was like this, observing what we were lacking at the moment.
Okay. And what goals do your students usually have for language learning?
They want to learn English for communication. They want to have more independence when they travel, and to make new friends around the world, to order their plates and dishes in the restaurants, to have more freedom in airport and things. So first of all, we can see that the students look for English to travel. And also, they are looking for a tool to practice and exercise their brains in order to
Mm.
avoid later disease. So it works in these two most important objectives.
Okay. And how does a course that age range differ from lessons to other adults?
Well, as I told you, communication is the most important skill. So they want to understand and be understood. So businessmen or other adults, they are looking for a more formal English or a more grammatical approach. And here we really emphasize communication, speaking, listening, to understand and be understood.
Okay. And what would a typical lesson be like?
Well, here time is really different. Our classes last a little bit longer because we take the time to say hello, to say all the things that happened the previous weekend, to talk about life, to have a brief conversation about things that are happening in our lives, the students' lives and the teacher's life too. And we also have an icebreaker, right? Some activity to make people get into the mood. And then we go with the lessons we prepared. But basically, we really develop a relationship of friendship. We have friends here, more than students, we have friends. And the students become friends with each other. So it's the socialization point is very, very important.
That is really important. Yes, instead of being student, they are your friends. So this is fantastic.
It is. We know every student's name. We care about them. We know when they are going to travel, when they have some sort of a surgery or something that's going on with them, with their children, and we really have this relationship, this close relationship.
That's perfect. And what are the main difficulties you have faced?
Well, first and the most important of all was to get to know this student better, because when you think about students 50 plus, you have some ideas of this profile, but who are they exactly? What do they want? So we had lots of stereotypes, and we needed to learn all of this. So during this past 6 years, we have been learning a lot about this audience, what they want, how they want to learn English, what are their objectives, what are their strengths and weak points. So the most important thing is to get to know the student well, this audience well, and get rid of stereotypes.
Okay. And the most rewarding experience, do you have some?
Oh, yes, we have many. Uh, Observing some students' development, the students that started with us some years ago and are currently at school, is delicious to realize that they have improved, they have learned, and they feel it inside. When they travel, many of them come to us and say, "Oh, I felt much more comfortable this last trip. I could talk, I didn't get so anxious at the airport. And I could understand people, I could talk, I met someone." And it's this is delicious to hear that, right? And the other aspect that I think is that we learn a lot from our students. We teach a little, but we learn a lot.
That's true. And so we bet that with a much life experience in a living room, you learn a lot too. What's the main lesson you are taking with you?
Among many lessons, actually, I personally have learned to pay more attention to people, to really listen to people, and to care about people, and not care so much about time or possessions and things, to be more careful about time, people, family, and things you really like, you really care. This empathy, and this is something they teach us a lot, because they come with lots of stories and a lot of things that happen to their lives. So they share these stories with us, and we end up learning a lot.
I met that. So would you like to leave a message for our friends from BrELT?
Sure, sure. If you know someone who is 50 plus and would like to learn English, encourage them. They have all the abilities and the capacity to learn English. They are just as good students as anyone, right? And if you want some tips or help, you may talk to us. Our school is in Curitiba. It's Tea Time English School, right? We have a website, www.teatime.com.br, and you may reach us by Facebook too, right? In our fan page, Tea Time. We are waiting for you there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Renata, we would like to thank you so much for taking your patience, your time, and sharing your moment with your student. This is very important to us, okay? So be welcome to our community and thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. It was such a pleasure to be with you.
Okay, thank you. See you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.